What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am back here again with another player interview. This time I got me the legendary High Impulse with me. You gonna Yo, what's up, bro? What's up?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. So let's just hop right into this interview because, like, you know, this is a pretty interesting topic. All right, so like I guess like the number one question everybody always asks like in interviews is like, all right, so how did you get into competitive Pokemon?
So like I used to like play Black and White, like on DS, Black and White 1, and I remember going to the Pokemon Center every time and being so curious about the upstairs floor, and you could play multiplayer on there apparently. And one day I just went up there and I tried to go in, and it wouldn't let me in, obviously, because the Wi-Fi wasn't set up. And so I just went on YouTube and tried to figure out how to set it up. And eventually I did set it up and started playing Wi-Fi. And then I discovered Snowpoint not too long after, and then Pokemon Online, and then yeah, just it went from there, really.
Okay, bet. So like, I know you always talk about you know, you joined like an IDM group. So like, when did this happen?
So I probably around early to, it was between mid Black and White 2 or late Black and White 1, I think I joined.
So like 2012-ish? 2012?
Yeah, probably around 2012-ish. So I actually met that group just before IDM was really formed.
Oh, okay.
The first one I met was actually another player called Valentine. He's
nah, I know who that is.
Yeah, and me and him, we used to have beef, man. Because I always used to catch him on ladder. I always used to take his points.
This is on PO, right?
Yeah, man. And you know, he just said something, I say something back. But then eventually we settled our differences, became friends. Then he introduced me to everyone, like CPC, Great Taster, Blunder, all those. And yeah.
Nice. I know you always talk about like what's it called? That you don't really play Pokemon as much anymore now, but you know, like when you did, is there any achievements like accomplished wise, like trophy wise, that you wish you got?
Okay, I really wish I got the SPL trophy with I think it was the Falcons. I think it was just when they had changed their name from, they used to have like an old team name, I forgot what it's called, but they had a reputation for being really bad. And then they changed it to Falcons, and that was the season I had joined. And it was run by Texas Cloverleaf. And he had a really bad reputation for being a bad manager, but he was honestly one of the best managers I've ever had. And that team, like people like Tessang and Pearl were on it. And God, it was just so much fun. And I really, really wish we won that trophy, because I think we either got to semis or finals. And
what SPL was this?
Yeah. Ooh, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it must have been like SPL 5 or 6, something like that.
Damn. So like this is like when Black and White was the main gen, or us? Black and White, I'm pretty sure.
X and Y was the main gen at that point.
Oh, X and Y. Okay. So like this is a while ago. This is like close to like 6 years ago.
Yeah, it might have been X and Y or like, yeah, I think it was X and Y actually, because I remember that's when Tessang was like really hot. So,
Tessang, yeah.
It would have been about me, yeah.
Yeah, I know you always. I know a lot of people always talk a lot about Tessang. Even you, like you put me, like I always saw his like name in the Hall of Fame, and like people, like after you started talking about him, I was like, yo, you're actually really good. And then like I just checked up his replays. I was like, God damn, what was it?
Tessang was an animal, man. Even when I was just testing with him, he was just so consistently good. Like for me personally, when I'm just playing someone versus when I'm actually like thinking about it, I play like a lot differently. But with him, it was as if it was just as if it was like inherent to him. He could just play so well all the time. It was pretty crazy, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the number one game a lot of people always reference is that game with Tessang versus McMegan in Black and White. You know, do you know which one? If you know which one I'm talking about, I forgot. It's the one where Tessang, he has a shaman and a slow king. Both of them have slow king. Yeah, that one. Like,
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think McMegan had Dragmag. I can't remember exactly, but it was like, yeah, like that's like the number one game a lot of people always talk about. Like when I saw that game, I was like, God damn, he really does do this. So,
Yeah, it's a shame he left because I'd argue he was probably one of the best like of all time.
Yeah, I think he definitely was. Like when I watch his replays and like I see his accomplishments, he got 2 Smogon Tours and a World Cup. That was really crazy. Like,
Yeah,
I think he's
that was crazy.
yeah, I think he's definitely up there.
He was sorry.
I think he's definitely up there, like with the top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if he continued to play, he probably would be like definitely like top 5, maybe top 1 right now. Like he's in the conversation with like, you know, the McMagans, the Ojamas, those guys.
Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, it'd be silly to overlook him. I think
Yeah.
he's definitely worth considering for.
So like I know you don't play as much as you used to, but like I know you played in SPL 10. So like would you still be interested in like playing high level tournaments like SPL, World Cup, like Smogon Tour?
To be honest, I have a different opinion when considering like team tournaments versus
individuals
like single tournaments. Yeah, I really don't like team tournaments very much. Like I know this is contrary to what I just said about SPL, but that was an exception. But I feel like team tournaments in general, like if you lose, it's not like you're just losing; you're like letting the team down, and I don't really like that. And also, as I've like grown up and played Pokemon, I've obviously had like more responsibilities, like outside of Pokemon in real life, and so I don't really have time for SPL and stuff. For like World Cup, and World Cup is a completely different story. I really don't like World Cup, but with single tournaments, you can kind of take it easy. Go at your own pace, and I just have more fun with them.
Yeah, is it because like, you know, if you lose, it's kind of like, you know, you didn't let anybody except for yourself down, compared to like letting down a whole team? Like it's like your specific journey right there. Like when you play, I know for a fact, like when you play like a team tournament, it's like, you know, it's not just like completely you that is up to. Like if you win your game, that's cool, but it also comes down to your teammates. So if like
That's true.
yeah, because like when you're in the finals, it's like, you know, you're so close to a trophy, and then when your teammates they could just like drop a game, and then it's like damn, the trophy's just gone.
That's kind of another reason I don't like team tournaments. It just
Is it kind of like what?
it's just
Is it kind of like it gets your hopes up?
Or a really bad environment.
Oh, is it kind of like it also gets your hopes up? Like
yeah, it does get your hopes up.
Yeah, you were talking about team environment. Like, can you like expand on that?
Depending on the team environment, whether it's a good one or a bad one, it really will reflect on the way you play. Well, this is my experience personally, but I feel like if your team are doing badly, you're more likely to do badly. But if your team are doing well, or for instance, you get on with everyone on your team, you're more likely to do well. And vice versa.
I think I definitely understand what you mean. It's kind of like spreading that. It's like spreading it. It's like you know how whenever they say like, you know, like negativity is like contagious.
Yeah, it is for sure.
Or it's like, yeah, it's like when you're also playing basketball. Like man, I love making basketball references. But you know, when like your entire team, they're just passing the ball around and just like, you know, looking for the open man, getting that shot. And then they find it's like kind of the same thing. Like everybody starts making your shots, even you're making your shots, and you're not even a shooter. It's like in this case, yeah.
I think team tournaments are just very hit or miss.
Oh yeah, hit or miss. Yeah,
I guess the best way to put it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know we were just talking about Tsung, but like, you know, who are some of your favorite players to watch?
Well, my favorite players to watch. So yeah, Tsung is definitely one of them. I really enjoy watching Brofist play. I think he's such a great player.
Those two go like hand in hand.
Yeah, but like and Brofist, he's so consistent, which I really like as well. I like watching Blunder play.
Blunder.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh, so you like pretty much watching like highly offensive players mostly.
Yeah, it's way more fun. Offense is way better.
Definitely. Like when you hit that nice double switch.
And when I see like an effective double or like I make one, I just get happy inside.
You know, that's just like putting yourself, like, especially when you put yourself in the position of just like hacks the shit out of somebody off of those doubles. Like they're like sometimes like, I know when I watch Blunder play and then like he's making a lot of doubles right off the bat, I'm like, god damn, nothing really happened, but like it looks nice.
Yeah, it does look nice. I You know what? I'm never gonna forget the first time I ever successfully pulled off a double switch.
Wait, who?
Because God, the first time I ever successfully pulled off a double switch.
Oh,
I'm
successfully.
never gonna
Okay.
forget it. Yeah, that was like this was back on like Wi-Fi days. But God, I felt like the man. I'm not gonna lie.
I know what you mean. It's kind of like I didn't even like. I remember when I finally learned what like hard switching was, and I was like, what does that actually mean? And then I learned what it meant. I was like, oh, okay. And then like that started like transitioning into doubles. I just saw people do it, and then I just started copying it. I'm like, this shit kind of cool.
Yeah, man, it's fun stuff.
Yeah, sometimes you just hit that pursuit on the Latios on the switch out just to let them know, even though it doesn't probably do anything for you because they were like 1% anyway.
Just to let them know, just to establish dominance.
Yeah, just to let them know that yeah, bro, I really am out here.
Yeah.
Any other players you like to watch?
Oh, Kratos Mana.
Kratos Man. Oh yeah. I remember
He's
you.
a fun one too.
Yeah, I remember you talked about him. Like you were like, what is it? I was asking you, would you ever want to play Kratos Man in a tournament? And you were like, nah, he's too dangerous for me.
Yeah, man. There's a few players like that I just don't want to face in tournaments. I've got him in a few like solo tours and stuff, like just in like during the like week.
Oh, like,
and sometimes they don't go down well.
Like what? It just goes south for you, or it just goes south both ways?
It goes south for me, man.
Bro, that's just how a game goes sometimes, unfortunately. Like, so this is actually a question that I think a lot of people definitely like bring up when it comes to competitive Pokemon, even though like, it's in the name, competitive Pokemon, but like if we're being serious, like obviously this is definitely a luck-based game. So
yeah, for sure.
So like how much of this game do you think is actually like based on like, skill, luck, and like the rest is like team building, etc.?
Okay. Oh, I actually think team building is like the biggest factor. So I kind of learned this pretty late on, like during my Pokemon career, I guess, or whatever. But if the better you are at team building, the more prepared you come to a match, the higher your chances you're gonna win. So I'd put about like a good 60% on team building.
Okay.
And team building, there is a skill to it, because obviously when most competitive players go to like play someone, they look at their replays, see what they're kind of like using, and then team build based off of that. And I think the better you're able to do that, the higher your chances are of winning.
Would you think that's
and I'd say,
would you like what's it called?
Sorry?
So like somebody like an ABR or like a TDK, like guys who were like, or like Great Bastard Hugo, like those guys, like they were like really known for their building. Like is that one way? Yeah, like is that like something you can like complement with their battling? That's why they were like so good at it.
Yeah, I'd say the reason. Well, in the case of TDK and ABR, I'd say their building is probably why they're so good. Yeah.
Okay. Like, cause like when I think about it, it's kind of like IQ. Like you just know what does. Like I know for a fact that Magearna has like 1,000 different sets, like AV shift gears, Calm Mind, Z move, like Heart Swap. Like there's so many different things. Like, is it kind of like being prepared for that situation?
I think if you yourself are better at team building, it's easier for you to read sets of teams.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true.
Yeah, because for me personally, like I can look at a team and say there's a Magearna there, and off the bat I don't know instantly what the set is, but based on the rest of the team, I can kind of make a guess. Just like thinking about what the team's weak to, what Magearna could potentially check with each of its sets, and then make a prediction based off of that.
Yeah. So like how much what about the rest, like competitive, like skill wise and like luck wise?
Obviously playing is obviously a big factor, because that's how you win battles. But I'd say it's like a good like 30%.
Okay, yeah.
I'd say building 50%, and the actual playing is like 30%.
Okay, okay. I mean, I can agree with that. Sometimes like it changes, like just depending on the situation. But I feel like on a consistent basis, I think team building is the number one thing that's always gonna be consistent. You're not gonna like, you know, you're only as good as the team allows you to be. Sometimes you can't play your way out of like you can't always play your way out of like a super horrible matchup if you only have like one Pokemon that does anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Unless that one Pokemon is Eterna.
I'd say the last 20% is just pure luck, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because obviously a critical hit, one crit, one miss, one, I don't know, drop, it could just end the whole game for you. So, yeah.
Yeah, like
there's always that.
Rolls and stuff, like rolls, all that type of shit. Just go like the burn chances, like chance that you get paralyzed, crits, all that shit. Like it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like I thought about this one time. I was like, what do you think Pokemon would be like if you remove the hacks from it? But like it really wouldn't work because so many moves have like just so many secondary effects and abilities.
I don't think the game would be as fun if that happened.
Yeah, I don't think people would get that, like, you know, that rush. You ever just like play in a Smogon tournament game, like you're just like trying to qualify, you make it to like the semifinals, your heart's racing, and then like, you know, you get crit on your switch to Landorus, or like
that's just horrible. Like I always feel for a player when that happens to them because that's just terrible.
Like, yeah, I definitely do think like losing to luck is definitely like the worst thing, especially when you outplay the hell out of your opponent.
And for sure, man, it can be infuriating, especially if you're like a new player, because I think a lot of older players kind of get used to it and just learn that it's a part of the game. But when you're new, you're kind of like you kind of take it with not so gracefully. It's probably the best way to put it.
When did you like learn like this is the game that I'm playing and like I decided to play like this, like, you know?
Probably when I stopped caring about the game. So I like when I stopped caring about like tournaments and just started to actually play for fun. And I'd say that was around maybe like
what, around when you cut out?
Latex wise, so maybe around 2020, like 2014 kind of time.
That's actually really crazy because I knew you were playing like on and off during like SM, like around that time. So that's actually that's pretty surprising.
Yeah, it takes a while, I guess. But
yeah.
I think as soon as you just accept it, the better, because you do find the game a lot more enjoyable after the fact.
That is I think I can actually agree with that. Like as of like recently, I was like, man, you know, this is the game we play. If I get hacks, I get hacks. It's like nothing I can really do about that. Sometimes I think like playing around. Do you think you could play around hacks?
There's definitely ways of like minimizing the effects of hacks, but there's not always something you can. There's not always something like you can do, because, for instance, you might get crit and you might get O-code. Like in that case, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, but like.
But say you have a Bisharp on the field and you can go for a flamethrower or focus blast. Obviously, you're going to keep flamethrower over focus blast because you could focus blast and miss. And there's ways of minimizing it in that kind of sense.
Yeah.
So the moves you choose on your team can act as a way of minimizing hacks. So like flamethrower instead of fire blast, or like thunderbolt instead of thunder, stuff like that. Yeah,
that's sometimes true. Like, but like unfortunately, there are always going to be times where, like, you know, Pokemon don't have access to something. But there is also like, I think I noticed this a lot more when I started to play, like after I like met you and you were telling me like how to play the game a little bit, play the game better. Like, you know, yes, this man taught me how to play this game. So like I was just like you. I remember you were telling me how like one day it just all clicked to you. Can you like talk about that?
Yeah, man. So I was chilling on the Pokemon Online ladder. God, it feels like ages ago now. Like this is probably around late Black and White 2, so maybe like what did you say, 2012 earlier?
Yeah, I think like 2012, like about close to 2013.
So like 2012, 2013 kind of time. And one day I was talking to some guy on the ladder. This guy, he always used to like watch my matches on the ladder. And one day we were just talking and we got into the like play styles and stuff, and then he started talking about the way I played. And he said that I always make the same move twice in the same situation. So say I set up a specific situation, I'll always do it a second time later on, like expecting the player to kind of do something different because he did something different the first time. But yeah, it clicked for me as soon as he said that, because at that minute I realized prediction is about momentum and about hazard control.
Yeah. That's actually like, that actually really, like, when you told me that actually opened my eyes, because like even though you told me that, like, it didn't exactly like click right away, but then like after like a month or two, like, and I was just playing, like, I think it all just like it all popped into my head. I was like, this actually really makes sense. Like, the point of prediction is just like to keep up momentum, especially with like an offensive play style. Like I was watching a Blunder video, and like he was talking about, you know, I'm always gonna make the play to keep up the initiative and keep the pressure on, especially when I'm in a dominant position. And I was like, this all makes, and then I just played a ladder game, like not even a ladder game, like I was playing a test game, I think. And then like it was on for like I was preparing for like this SM seasonal game, and then I was like, it all makes sense now. It just clicked in the middle of a test game, and I was like, wow. And then and then like I went on. Yeah, it was just weird. Like I was like, damn, it just clicked now. And then like still obviously like I'm not like at that like super crazy high level, but like when that finally clicked, I was like, okay, so I think I understand a few of the mistakes that I make. But like even after then, I still like learned a few things. Like what did you learn specifically after that? Like, because like I think a lot of players like they struggle with knowing when to, like, you know, say you have like a few useless Pokemon in the back, but you don't know what you should specifically sack. When did you learn something like that? Like what to drop off?
Well, it depends really. It depends on the situation in the game. But I think I learned how to predict with more efficiency after like when it clicked for me. And I knew when to like kind of put the brakes on double switching or making a read or something like that.
Okay. As for what? As for what, you cut out.
What, sorry?
You said as for, like, and then you cut out.
Right, yeah, as for knowing what to sacrifice, the answer is, unfortunately, it just depends. Like, say I'm fighting a Dracovish and I have no counters for it, I'm gonna sacrifice my least useful Pokemon in that matchup. That's what I do instantly. But from then on, if I know that I need to, but obviously after that I'm not gonna have any counters to Dracovish because I have to sacrifice something. I'm gonna have to play in a way that would keep the Dracovish out and stop that from getting a free switch in. And I probably have to play a bit more aggressively, stuff like that. Again,
that's where team building comes in, ladies and gentlemen.
That is where team building comes in as well, because obviously you wouldn't be in that position in the first place if you had a counter for Draco.
Unfortunately, the only counter to Dracovish, you can't even put Ferrothorn in the top 3 because that shit gets taken like half off its life when it's in the rain.
Dracovish is actually ridiculously strong. It's so stupid.
Imagine Game Freak thinking, you know, guys, let's just make a Pokemon, right? We're like a pretty average attack stat, and then give it Strong Jaw, and give it a move that's amplified by Strong Jaw, and if it goes first, the effect gets doubled. And then
they did the same stuff with Hustle and what was it, Bulkman with Draco as well.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this move doesn't miss.
Oh my god, yeah, it's ridiculous.
How are you gonna give somebody a move, bro? That shit is like a freaking, like, compared to like Explosion, like DPP or like Gen 1.
Yeah, man, it's so stupid. I don't get it. I can definitely see them nerfing that in the future.
Do you think Dracovish is ban worthy? Because like the only counters, if we're really thinking about it, is like Water Absorb Mons. And even then, like Seismitoad, I wouldn't even say it's a hard counter, because if they click Crunch and they're banded, then you take like 40% off your HP.
I don't think the Pokemon itself is ban worthy. I think maybe the move could potentially be, but because Dracovish is so slow, and stuff like Rocky Helmet, Ferrothorn.
Yeah, but it's also so bulky. It doesn't die.
It's got limited counters for sure. That's like, it's just Water Absorb and like Toxapex, and even then you need to run like Baneful Bunker.
Yeah, like I always find myself in a position where like I see a Dracovish on the other side. I made this team, and like I would just lead off with my Scarf Dragapult, and then they would lead off with their Dracovish because skillless players, they don't know what to do. I click Draco, and then they go hard Clef, and I have a Steel type or a Rotom Heat in the back, and then I click Draco again because I know they're gonna double right back because this is like the only thing I have to kill it. And then whenever they switch that in and it says Draco Meteor misses, I'm like, I get ready to just like smack the shit out of my computer.
I think Dracovish with the next DLC patch might be a little better to handle.
Yeah.
But we can only really wait and see with that because I think Fisher's Rend is just such a silly move.
Yeah, I was definitely like when I was thinking about the DLC, I was like, looking at all the older Pokemon from SM, I was like, all right, what Pokemon here is like really like not even a hard counter but a check? And I was like, the first two Pokemon, I was like, all right, let me do some calcs with like Tapu Bulu and Tapu Fini. And I was like, okay, bet we found some answers right here. Like, unfortunately, they don't hard counter it because if it's banded in the rain, that's like, I think Tapu Bulu, unless it's like max HP, max defense, or like max Pdef or whatever, that shit takes like a 60% from Fish's Rend. It's crazy.
That is ridiculous, man. Yeah, but Bulu would help a lot with flipping Dracovish though.
Can't wait till all the Pokemon are finally released.
But it's really annoying having to like adapt to a new metagame every like 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it works. I feel like in the first year and a half usually, especially like that was like the case with like XY and like DPP and like what's it called, Black White, because there was always a second version like Heart Gold Soul Silver, Black White 2, Oras, SM 2.
There's always like a good year or so in between that though, but with the DLC patch I feel like it's just more frequent.
Yeah, I mean, but right now I feel the way it works is like this. I think this is like the same with every game as of recently. In the first year and a half, I think that's like when like you're still working everything out, especially like the tiering system. Like the first few months are like the tiers, and then after that it's like, they get the new toys from like the new game. That's like the new toy syndrome. Shit rises, shit falls. And then like after and then after a few more months, the game settles.
That's true. But then when it settles, there's always a risk of it being pretty stale. I'd say right now, Generation 8 is very stale.
Yeah, I mean, right now that's just because of the limited amount of Pokemon we have.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Yeah.
Yeah, like SM, like you had Z moves and you had like 600 Pokemon, and then like you could just use whatever you wanted. It was pretty like I definitely like took that for granted. Just looking back at it, like I go back to SM and I play the ladder and I'm like, god damn, what the fuck was I thinking? This shit is fun.
SM is so fun. I think SM is the best like new generation.
Yeah, like honestly, I was thinking about like, because my favorite gen like is Oras. And like when it comes to like playing like competitive, and then I was thinking about it the other day. I was like Oras or SM. SM has way more variety, so like you never know what you're gonna see sometimes. Like you can just run into a lot of crazy shit.
It's just too much Metagross,
Yeah.
Magnezone, it's really annoying.
Yeah, it's always the same 6 Pokemon: Metagross, Magnezone, Clefable, Landorus, Garchomp, freaking like so much shit. It's like Keldeo, Latios.
I'm just getting a bit tired of Oras. I think it used to be a lot better back when it was the main gen.
Yeah, I mean, like that's when like a lot more people played it, so there was more room for creativity. People were just trying to find new things to counter the metagame.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think right now in Sword and Shield there is actually like a team that can counter the metagame, or like a standard 6, or like standard, like I feel like the standard 3 right now is just Clef, Corviknight, Seismitoad.
Yeah, I don't think there is. Like, there's obviously Pokemon that can pressure it, but I'd say for the most part, no. Maybe Sun, but Sun is really hard to make work.
Yeah, but how do you feel about it right now? Do you think Sun is amazing right now? Because I've seen you've been using Sun on the ladder.
I think Venusaur is amazing under Sun.
Yeah.
Obviously, that core you just mentioned, obviously, Clef gets Sludge Bombed, Corviknight, Weather Balled, and obviously Seismitoad just gets Giga Drained, so that just gets annihilated by Venusaur.
That might just be that might be the answer. Hold on.
Yeah, but Venusaur is pretty good because obviously under Sun you can also outspeed stuff like Dragapult and Zeraora, which are like the fastest things in the tier.
Yeah. So so you've been playing Pokemon, like competitive Pokemon for a very long time. Do you what are some of your favorite battles you've seen, if you could list them off the top of your head?
My favorite battles I've seen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh wow, that's a difficult question actually. My favorite battle that I've seen.
If they have replays, just link it to me afterwards, and I'll try to put them in the. I'll try to put it in the video.
I'm just trying to think of one off the top of my head, but not one is springing to mind at the minute.
I feel like he'll come up with a battle that has to do with Tsung and like possibly Blunder.
Yeah, I mean I can think of battles that made me happy, but I don't think that was because the battle was particularly good. It was just because it was someone I liked who was winning or something like that.
Okay, but have you ever just seen a game that was like, you know, like you just like had to go back to watch it just because like it was probably like so good?
Yeah, of course, but I just none spring to mind at the minute.
Okay. So instead of that, like, are there any games that you yourself have played in that you like really enjoyed that you could probably list like against like specific people?
I had a really I've had like controversial matches in the past. One was versus
𝙄𝙎𝙼𝘾, okay.
Back in the SPL where Texas Club League was the manager and I was on Falcon.
Are there replays? Are there any replays for that still, or like the replays didn't exist then?
It was on PO.
Oh, it's on PO. Okay.
Logs of it somewhere. But yeah, that was a pretty controversial match. I had a match recently versus BKC.
Oh, in OST.
But the thing is, I don't really keep up with Snowgon anymore.
Okay.
Like tournaments, you know.
Your BKC.
I haven't watched matches for like a long time of like people in the tournament scene.
Your battle versus BKC was OST, right?
It was OST.
Alright, I might have to just link that. Alright, so I know you always talk about like you and BKC, like, you know, so like what was the beef? What was the beef?
Oh man, we had beef. Obviously it's settled now, but we used to have beef back in the day, man. It's basically because he used to say he said in a post. This was the first time I'd ever made like a tournament. I think I had made Smogon to a playoff 16, and he made a post on that thread saying I got ghosted by like all of IDM, which is just plainly not true. To be fair, it was completely false, and yeah, we just kind of did not get on since then. But it's alright now. It doesn't really matter anymore.
Okay, I mean, yeah, like, you know, you get older, you don't give a shit as much about the game.
Yeah, that's true. And like, it happened so long ago now. It's kind of water under the bridge.
But like, did you play in any have you played in any World Cups?
A few years now.
Okay.
World Cup is actually my least favorite.
Is it because
I really don't like it.
Is it because of the country? Because like I don't know how London really does like in World Cup.
Well, like the thing is with Smogon, it keeps changing up the World Cup rules like every 2 minutes. I swear to God. Like, obviously, I'm not sure how it works now because I haven't kept up. But I think now it might be region locked to where your IP is. Is that correct?
I think so, because I remember when I was talking with Stone Cold, he was talking about, I forgot, some guy, like, he's like, yeah, he like lives in like Germany or something, but he has like a grandmother or grandfather that lives in like Virginia, and he's trying to play for like East. It was like hilarious. I was like, what the hell is that talking about?
Yeah, man, it just gets ridiculous. Like, it's a game. Why should you be locked to where your country is? I think the whole concept of World Cup is not a very good one.
Honestly, I feel like the way World Cup should kind of work, like the way I've thought about it is like, you know, like it's kind of like not really like I guess you could say it's kind of draft, but like, you know, but not really. I feel like, you know, you scout your players, nobody's locked into anything. There's no draft, but like you hit up the players that you want, and then you form a team.
Yeah, so,
it's kind of like,
yeah, but that would kind of be like SPL.
Yeah, but like I feel like this kind of like you keep kind of the format of battling, like the, you know, like all the OUs and shit. But it's like, you know, if a player wants to represent a specific country, then they could do that. I don't think they should be like locked in. But like, but when they're choosing, like, you know, there definitely has to be qualifiers, because if anybody could just choose where they went, everybody would just go to like US East and US like South or whatever, and they would just try to like. You can go ahead.
There was an instance for me where, I played for Team UK and I've also played for Afro. and there was a time when I used to go between Saudi Arabia and England quite often. So I wanted to play for Aframs, but then, you know, I remember I had so many like TDs trying to like stop the decision, even though I am literally African by heritage, and I'm a black African.
Shoutouts.
But they were trying to say no, it's UK only, and I just think the whole premise of World Cup is ridiculous, and they really need to relook at how they do that tournament.
Is there anything specific that you would try to change?
I'd probably just get rid of it, to be honest. But that's just me personally.
Do you think? So like, I know there's a few tournaments right now, like the Grand Slams, where you play all the old gen. Is that Grand Slam? Yeah, that's Grand. Wait, is Grand Slam old gens or is like no, that's Is
Grand Slam's lower tiers.
Grand Slam's lower tiers, and which one's the old gens?
It's Snake Draft.
No. It's classic. There we go. It's classic. Classic,
yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was thinking about like, which one was it? All right, so it's classic. So, is there any type of like tournament that you feel like you would add? Like, is there like some type of specific like conditions that you would try to make? Like, you know, like the Smogon tournaments where it's the main 3 gens. Like, what?
Do you remember Frontier?
Oh, is that where like they would have like a few battlers and you have to beat them all and like get a trophy or something?
Yeah, man, that was a great tournament. I have no idea why they got rid of that one.
Did you ever like participate in it?
Oh man, yeah. So I actually participated in the very last Frontier. I think Ray Scarface was running it.
How many were
I played under an ult.
Wait, why'd you play under an ult?
I was getting really bored with the game and I just wanted to do something.
Oh, you just wanted to like, you know, like play around?
So I didn't enter with just high, like I only entered with one account, but it just wasn't high impulse. It was an account called Blacktivity. Yeah, man. And I played with that. I think I got to like 6-0 or something like that, and then I got caught. So sad times in it.
What happened when you got caught? Did you get banned?
No, I didn't even get banned actually. I just got an infraction.
Wait, an infraction? What does that do?
You just basically like a slap on the wrist. It's like a warning.
Oh, that's actually freaking hilarious. Okay, so
I wasn't able to play in Frontier again. But it didn't matter anyway because it was the last Frontier.
How many Frontiers were there?
Oh, I don't remember. I think it was like one of the earliest tournaments on the site. So probably a good couple of years.
Okay, so this just popped into my head. So you were a pretty good, like, you know, like pretty like well-known player. So how do you feel about like the way Smogon is right now? Do you think like a lot of tournaments, like, you know, they don't cater to new players, like specifically OLT? That's like where the new players usually shine. But like,
oh man, I think the OLT was like that. I think it was Hugo and Blue's idea. That was a great idea for incorporating new players, because honestly, back when I was trying to like get into team tournaments and stuff, I think I had been trying for 2 years. I couldn't make it, and there's such a massive bias to players who already know, and for sure there's a problem there. They need to come up with more ways of getting more people involved in the scene, and I think that doesn't just have a benefit for Smogon, but for the like Pokemon community as a whole. Like, if more people get interested, then it can get bigger, it can grow, it can start to get some funding, you know, players can probably start to make some money, stuff like that.
Yeah, like, I think
that's my thoughts on it. Yeah,
I think, like, would you say you would still be playing the game if, like, you know, tournaments had, like, cash prizes?
Oh, man, I'm telling you, if they had cash prizes, or if they had, like, money for like ladder, for instance, which obviously that's a wild idea, but let's just say, for example, dude, I would be playing Pokemon every second of every day.
You'd be on your Joey Poke aim type shit.
Bro, I would be out here. I would have a team with every single Pokemon, every single one.
It would be like the PO days. Everybody's just like, you know, trying to like ladder to get number 1, get like top 10 on the ladder. What if they
I never would have quit if I could have made money off of this.
Yeah. What if they made it like, this is a crazy idea. What if like they made like, you know, if you can keep the number 1 spot for like a whole week, they'll give you like $100 or some shit.
Man, that would be crazy. Yeah, I think I'd even attempt that, to be honest.
That honestly, I think that would be like freaking amazing. Like, you know, you know, you get number one at like the beginning of the week, and if you're still number one by the end of the week, like the positions can change because that's always gonna happen. But like if you can start at number one and finish at number one, then it doesn't matter, because as long as you stay in like the top 10 category, I think that'd be an awesome challenge. I think, bro, I feel like
that would be like world P, just harder.
Yeah, like I feel like Smogon needs to come up with ways, like they're not really tournaments, but like they have to come up with ways to like keep players interested, like continuously playing the game, because there are a lot of people that just like they're really amazing at the game, they just stop because there's like nothing that's left to offer.
There's no incentive to play.
Yeah, it's like
no enjoyment, and I think part of things, it's inevitable.
Yeah, unfortunately, like
why would
shit. If this was more like if it was more like VGC, I think a lot more people would definitely play, because you know, the incentive to travel along with, you know, making money. Who is it that owns Showdown or like Smogon or whatever, is Chaos or whatever?
Oh, Chaos owns Smogon and Zaral is the creator of Showdown.
Okay. So would you ever be interested in, like, you know, seeing Smogon become like an actual big thing? Like, you know how
I would love that. Yeah, man, I would back that 100%. I think if Smogon were able to do something like that, come up with some sort of deal with Nintendo, yeah, I'd be all for that. Yeah,
because if you guys have never noticed that Pokemon Showdown has always stayed, like, it always has beta in its name. That has to do with like what is it called? I think the moment that they take the beta out, their name is like becomes an official thing, so like they can get like copyright claimed or some shit by Nintendo or like Game Freak. Yeah, it's,
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's probably like not 100% the way I explained it, but like I know it has something to do with like keeping the beta in their name so that it like can keep the website up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something like that. But like if Nintendo, I feel like since VGC never really they don't cater to like the singles players. They don't give a shit about us, but that's where Smogon comes in.
So bad.
Bro, but like imagine like having like Smogon competitions all over the country.
Well, that'd be so good, man. I'd be traveling everywhere.
That'd actually be like, that'd be freaking hilarious. Like, I think that's like the main reason a lot of people like it's mostly kids or like guys like Wolfie. Like, I heard about his name too. I don't keep up with VGC, but I heard about him, like old VGC champion. Like I think that's one reason these guys can continue to play. Like, obviously they're making money off of it, but it's also like, you know, who doesn't enjoy the travel?
Yeah, that's true, man. I just think in general that Smogon singles format is better than VGC format anyway. I think a lot more people would like that as well. Yeah,
definitely. So, we already know, like, we've gone over this multiple times during the interview. So we know you don't play Pokemon on a really consistent basis, but with all the shit that's going on right now, I can't say the C word because that'll fuck up my video. But with all the shit that's going on right now, do you find yourself definitely playing a lot more Pokemon? I know you do because I see you on the ladder.
Yeah, man, bro. Listen, with this thing going around, I have nothing to do, man. So yeah, I've just been playing Pokemon back like it was like 2012 again.
Bro, like right now is like the best time for you to just like try to qualify for Smogon tournament.
Yeah, man, but I haven't even really been keeping up with that though, because I just keep falling asleep every time they come.
It is. Oh yeah, because you're in London, so like what time is 6 p.m. East for you?
Wait, is that only Saturday or Sunday?
Friday 6 p.m. Eastern. Is that like? How many?
Like 10 p.m. But it's not that late. I just nap a lot.
Yeah, but the game's also like sometimes like it just lasts a really long time. I remember what was it? The recent SS tournament, the Sword and Shield one. That shit went until like 8 o'clock at night when they started at like 4 in the evening, 4 in the day, and I'm like, that's just short. That's Sword and Shield for you.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
Okay, I think this is actually a question that I definitely need to ask. Do you think people take this game way too freaking serious?
Oh my god, yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna name specific names, but there are players who get way too upset over a game, essentially, and I think they just need to reevaluate their lives. Yeah, there are people that just like, they spend the entire goddamn day and they're like, oh my god, I need to win this trophy so I can get some self-satisfaction. Basically, like, there's more to life than Pokemon, believe it or not. Yeah. Like, there are definitely players.
there are definitely players that like like I'm not trying to hate on them or anything. Like, you know, hey, get that bag, and then like just there are players that that get the bag and then they dip. They're like, screw it, bro. I won this shit in my first try. That must suck. Winning it on your first try. But like, do you think there are any? Are there like any? I know you don't keep up with the game, but like, are there any like players right now that you definitely want to just like see win a ring? Like whether that be an individual or like a team tournament.
See in a ring, like a boxing ring.
No, yeah, like a tournament ring.
Oh, right. I thought you meant to throw hands. I was like,
oh no, oh
yeah,
no,
sure.
oh no.
But anyone I'd like to see in, are these like established tournament players or people that are kind of like up and coming?
Anybody.
Ooh, I'd like to see Asan play.
Asan 219, the GOAT
of
SM.
Just because he's just a young UK player, and it'd be nice to see him do well. Because there's really not many players from the UK that do well at all. Like not since the DPP era.
Yeah.
I think most of the best UK players have like long gone.
Unfortunately, he's banned right now. But when he comes back, he's gonna.
I hope he starts raining in some wins.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna come back stronger. Trust me that.
For sure, man.
Bro, he's gonna come back. He's gonna hit up the OLT ladder, and he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, man, he hacked me." And he's like, I remember last year he would like ladder in the middle of the day, and then he would lose points, and then he'd stay up all the way at night and just like get back to number 1.
I remember that stream, man. That guy's crazy.
Bro, it's just freaking hilarious. But like, I think like, you know, there's a lot more that just goes into wanting to win. I feel like you definitely need to have fun while you play, and I think he does have. I think he definitely does have fun. I think, because like, why else would you play this game? You cut out. You cut out real quick.
Oh, sorry. I said fundamentally, if you're not like enjoying the game, you're not really gonna play. So
yeah, that's.
He probably does. He probably does enjoy it.
Yeah, because if we're being serious, like, you know, there've been times where like I quit this game and then I just came back. I quit for like 2 years and then I started again, like at the end of SM, and I was like, bro, what? I just came back to play some fun. I just came back from playing basketball and I hopped on Showdown. I was bored as shit. And then I played. I was like, you know, I gave you guys 2 years to boss up. And I was just playing ladder, bro. I didn't know tournaments were a thing at this time. Like, and this is like 2 years ago. I didn't even know tournaments were a thing.
Tournaments definitely make the game more fun.
Yeah, I think that's 100% true. Like, when did you start participating in tournaments?
So I learned about them relatively early on after I discovered Snowbone. So just as soon as I was able to. So I think Snowbone Tour 16 was the first tournament I ever like qualified for.
So like, was that the first tournament you played, or like that's just the first one you qualified?
That was the first one I qualified for.
Okay.
Right. Well, because before then, obviously new players they can't exactly just get onto a team very easily.
Yeah, unless
so
you know
that wasn't
somebody.
an option for me. For me, the only choice was I have to make it on my own. So Snowbone Tour was the way I said I'd do it.
Interesting. Like, do you have any advice for any like new players that are just like trying to break into the scene right now?
Yeah, so I'd say off high on the ladder.
You cut off real quick. You'd say what?
Oh, I'd say first of all, focus on individual tournaments. You know, your Snowbone Tours, your OSTs, your OLTs.
Yeah.
And focus on laddering quite a lot. So keep yourself high on the ladder. So, because when you tend to get high on the ladder and stay there consistently, you naturally start to gain an audience, whether that be people who aren't well known in the community. You'll also get people who are well known and they'll sometimes watch and stuff, and people will know about you regardless. So if, for instance, someone like Mob Barney, he wasn't very. He was like known as a ladder player. That's fair to say, right?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like.
Yeah, so you can also get known from there and from individual tournaments. So I'd say just keep up with both of them, and make sure the two will eventually do the trick for you. Yeah,
a lot of people say ladder. You know, even I used to say this a long time ago. I used to say, you know, a lot of people say a ladder doesn't matter. But like it doesn't matter, like to a certain extent, but like there's a point when it does. Like how much do you think it goes into like, you know, shaping somebody as a player?
I think it's probably arguably one of the most important parts of shaping someone as a player, because Like, I don't understand how people say ladder don't matter. It's not as if they're playing a different game or anything. It's the same game. You know?
It's just not tournament. It's just not tournament usually.
Like, obviously, the more you play, the better you're gonna get. So, if you're laddering consistently, the higher your chances are of becoming a better player. So yeah, I'd say it matters quite a lot.
I think that's it's kind of, if you think I just thought about like it's kind of the same when it comes to like Asan, because Asan is always laddering, even when he's just like playing for fun, and he stays high on the ladder. I'm like, I would just like ask him like, how'd you get so good at the game? He's like, I don't know, bro. Just ladder.
It's ladder, like
yeah.
People say ladder don't matter, but I'd say if you're not laddering, you're probably at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I think you ever heard of those people that do like, you know, the freaking Smogon, how like they have like tutors and shit, like battle tutors?
They have yeah, I remember that actually.
How do you feel about that?
I think tutoring in Pokemon is only effective to an extent, because I feel like a lot of it is just personal experience and getting used to certain things in the game.
Yeah.
I feel like prediction is very hard to learn without you just playing the game loads and, you know, getting used to those different circumstances you find yourself in.
Yeah. What was it? I forgot who it was. He like had videos on like on Smogon, and he was like telling you like, this is when I forgot who it was. Like he tells you like, you know, this is when you learn how to like team, like the fundamentals of like playing the game, like team building, knowing when to predict, I guess, like not know, like, or like when to switch out, something like that. It should be somewhere in the tutoring forums. I don't know, but
yeah.
Do you think? I think a lot of people, they definitely like, they get too invested in this whole tutoring thing. A lot of the old-fashioned players, especially back on PO and like, you know, before that, they just laddered. They didn't do all this tutoring nonsense.
That's true. I think ultimately your best tutor is the ladder, really. Like getting help from someone is always good, but that's more for like tips, I'd say, and like little tricks you can do here and there.
Yeah.
But to learn the like good, like 70% of it, I'd say a ladder is your best friend there.
Yeah, so like knowing like, you know, when to make a specific play, and like just learning the metagame by knowing what Pokemon do.
Yeah, also laddering will teach you the metagame.
Yeah, 100%. So,
yeah.
I think, did you like, by the way, did you come up with any other battles that like, you know, that you like, your favorite battles? Any favorite battles?
Favorite battles? My personal favorite battle?
Yeah, your personal.
Ooh, my personal favorite battle. It might have been versus Aqua Luis in a World Cup like many years ago.
Okay. And I
French black and white player.
Oh, the French black and white. Do they have replays for this?
Yeah, that one was actually on Showdown. There's a replay of that there.
What was his name?
Aqua Luis.
Aqua Luis? Okay. I'm about to.
Aqua Luis.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to check that out.
But yeah, man. The thing is, my memory really starts to like fade with battles, because they kind of, my battles all kind of just merge into one for me, so I can't really pinpoint one.
You got the PTSD.
Oh my god, yeah. I'll tell you about how that gives me PTSD. 001, man. Oh my god.
So,
oh my god.
Shit, what was that? I was gonna ask you a last question. What was it? Let me try to remember. Oh, okay, I remember. So this is the last question I wanted to ask you. Are there like any players, like any specific players that you've met that like they just shaped you as a player, like to where you were, like, you know, at your peak? Funkasaurus?
Yeah, or Suf as he's known as now, I think, on Smogon.
What's his name?
So S-U-F.
Oh, Suf?
S-O-U-F, sorry.
Oh, Suf. Okay.
Suf, yeah, but he used to be known as Funkasaurus, and I think a lot of the like older people on Smogon will know who he is. But yeah, he is without a doubt the #1 person who shaped me as a player.
Interesting. Like, what about? I know you were since you were talking about IDM earlier. Anybody in there specifically as well?
Who shaped me as a player?
Yeah, like
I think it was a mixture of most of the people in there, because obviously I used to play them on a regular basis, and a lot of players who are still around from IDM now are like really good players, and even back then they were still pretty good. So I think playing with people like that on a consistent basis, like, just it kind of made me grow as a player.
Nice.
For sure, yeah.
So like, since you're like no longer like, you know, really interested in the whole Pokemon thing, you just play casually. So, you know, what do you do? What are you doing when you're not playing Pokemon?
Cool. So outside of this, like, this whole pandemic that's going on, what I like doing is just going out with my friends. I like going to the gym quite a lot as well.
Making games? Okay.
I'm also doing a master's degree, so that's kind of where most of my focus is now these days.
Yeah, not everybody has time for playing Pokemon, guys, unfortunately.
But now, man, I got all the time in the world, man.
Hey, yo, right now, this is the time for you to, you know, get your badges up, win that trophy,
yeah,
win a trophy, bro.
Maybe finally get a trophy, you know.
Yo, bro, you're gonna have like a little bit of, probably like a few months, cause like this shit is supposed to be going on for like a year or whatever. I don't know, but hey, if you can win, then everybody's gonna stop clapping. Oh, yo, actually, this is exactly the last question. 100%. All right, how do you feel? How do you feel when people clown you about like not having a trophy?
It doesn't bother me. Like, it really doesn't, because I think having a trophy is great and all, but I feel like having a trophy on Smogon means absolutely nothing. Like, you won a tournament.
I mean, it's just pixels. It's pixels.
Yeah, it's literally just pixels. You won a tournament, and you got like what, a couple hundred pixels.
Like, whenever I think about it, it's just like, I compare you kind of like to Blunder before he won his trophy. Like, you guys are both like amazing players, and it's like it's the same case. It doesn't take away from what you did, from like what you've done before, even if you don't have the trophy.
Yeah, for sure. For me, I just kind of, whenever I see a trophy now, I kind of just think time. You know, like you invested a lot of time in this. And for me, getting like a trophy on Smogon has not been a priority of mine for like so many years. I'd say it was a priority when I first started playing Pokemon, but keep in mind I was also like 12, so I didn't really have much else going on in life.
What do you think about like when you see like some of these players, they're just like, they're grinding super hard just to get like a trophy, like to get that satisfaction, even if they have one, like they just want one more. Like some players, like you know who Solwyn is, right?
Yeah, I know Solwyn.
So how do you feel like when you see like 7 individuals? He's tried to like 7 individual finals and he hasn't won one yet, and he's still going at it.
I mean, if I was Solwyn, I gotta give props to the guy, because if I was him, I would have given up. You'd have just so long ago.
You would have tossed your computer out the window at that point?
Oh, I would have stopped. You telling me 7 finals and I didn't win? I would not be playing again.
They say 3rd time's the charm. They fucking lied to this guy.
Yeah, they lied to him. But no, he's obviously a good player, but I think, you know, so much time goes into stuff like Smogon Tour, which is obviously the one he made finals for quite a lot, and I just don't have time for that, man. Like, time is valuable. I wouldn't want to waste it.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Like, a lot of people, we're just putting like 4 hours into like our Smogon Tour days if you make it all the way to the finals. And if you do it on a consecutive basis, that's a lot of time you're just like spending on that shit. You could just, a lot of people, they're like, yo, I never have time to like work out or like, you know, do any of this, and then like, you're putting 4 hours into playing Pokemon. What are you talking about?
No, man. And that's like all your weekends gone, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, I understand Sunday because no one really goes out or does anything on Sunday. But you're telling me Saturday and Friday, these people are just sitting indoors playing Pokemon? It don't make sense unless you're young, you know? It don't make sense unless you're young.
It's kind of comedic if you think about it, you know? Like, your girlfriend pulls up and she's like, yo, babe, let's go out. And then you're like, I can't, I have to win Smogon Tour.
Yeah, like last Smogon Tour, I found myself having some time, so I was playing, and I was actually doing quite well.
Yeah, you almost qualified.
I was at like rank 4 at one point, and then, you know, I got busy in real life, and I was just like, and I fell out of the rankings eventually, and the weeks carried on.
Yeah, you made it in like 3 weeks, and then like you just stopped playing. You had like 20 something points, I think.
Yeah, and I just stopped playing, and that's just, and it's literally just because Pokemon isn't a priority for me. It's always going to be like something I just do as for fun, you know.
Yeah, I 100% get that. So I guess this is where we could end the interview. You got anything else to add to tell anybody else?
Nah, man, it's just been good talking to you, to be honest. Thank you for interviewing.
Yeah, I really did what's it called? I really did enjoy this. It was actually really fun, like just like hearing your like thoughts on like the meta game and like your journey as a player.
Yeah, man, it's been fun talking about it. Actually, it's not very.
It's very nostalgic.
Yeah, it is very nostalgic. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Do not forget to like and subscribe. My boy High Impulse, he will be making a YouTube channel soon, apparently. So, you know.
Yeah, I will, because obviously this pandemic going on, man's got some time. Feel me?
Yeah. So like when the time comes, I will be linking his YouTube channel in the description. You know, your boy might hit a collab with him in a little bit. Almost at 1,000 subscribers. Yo, subscribe. I want my ads. I want my ads. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Talk to y'all later. Peace out.